According to Giordano in the article Pediatric Depression, a child or adolescent must have at least 5 of the following, with at least one of the first 2 during the same 2-week period to be considered a major depressive episode. Depressed or irritable mood, diminished interest or loss of pleasure in almost all activities, sleep disturbance, weight change, appetite disturbance or failure to achieve expected weight gain, decreased concentration or indecisiveness, suicidal ideation or thoughts of death, psychomotor agitation or retardation, fatigue or loss of energy, feelings of worthlessness or inappropriate guilt. In a major depressive episode, the signs and symptoms must cause a major decline in functioning and great distress. The episode may include psychotic symptoms, chronicity, melancholic features, catatonic features, and seasonality. On the other hand, there are atypical signs and symptoms of major depressive episodes to include increase in appetite or significant weight gain, increased sleep, feelings of heaviness in arms or legs, a pattern of long-standing interpersonal rejection sensitivity that extends far beyond the mood disturbance episodes and results in significant impairment in social or occupational functioning. There should always be a medical screening exam to rule out any medical reasons for the episodes. Serotonin or norepinephrine normally send signals to the cerebral components of the brain. Any decrease in the circuits that use serotonin or norepinephrine can be a cause of depression. Using a PET scan to determine the activity of the prefrontal cortex can be instrumental in the cause of depression. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for the emotional response of the brain. Dopamine, noradrenaline, and serotonin regulate a person's mood. Although the PET scan measures receptor information, it is not recommended for children or adolescents due to the radiation the scan requires. According to Steingard et al., MRI studies show that depressed youths had a significantly smaller ratio of frontal lobe volume to total cerebral volume and a significantly larger ratio of lateral ventricular volume to total cerebral volume, suggesting these alterations in cerebral volumes may signal a role for the frontal lobes in the development of early onset depression. According to Titus et al., the SPECT or SPECT exams associations between perfusion indices and clinical variables. Significant differences in perfusion index values were indicative of relatively reducing perfusion in the left anterofrontal and left temporal cortical areas. The test suggests that adolescents with MDD may have regional blood flow deficits in left anterofrontal and left temporal cortical regions, with greater right-left perfusion asymmetry than healthy controls have. 5-HT or serotonin uptake is differentially influenced in depressed and non-depressed people. DeBellis et al. Reports that ACTH, cortisol, growth hormone, and prolactin in a group of pre-pubertal children who were depressed and a control group reported that pre-pubertal children who were depressed had lower cortisol secretion during the first 4 hours of sleep than did children in the control group. ACTH, GH, and prolactin secretion did not differ between the two groups. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, are the preferred medications for depression in children and adolescents. These medications include Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, Celexa, Lexapro, Luvox. SSRIs inhibits CNS neuron uptake of serotonin, but not of norepinephrine.